Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's talk about masculinity once again. Let's talk about Hollywood. The conspiracy against men. Is there one? Let's start off with that. Do you think that there is a coordinated effort to attack masculinity? Feels like it. Have you noticed how, for example, these superhero movies, these guys all kind of seem like sissies? Is that just me that notices that, or have anybody else noticed that superheroes don't really feel manly anymore? They don't have a traditional brand of masculinity. A lot of these guys seem feminine, metrosexual. Look at Robert Downey Jr. I don't even know if he's a straight guy, not that it would matter, but he comes across to me like a woman, like a straight up woman. An Iron Man. They should call him Iron Woman. But then, we can go down the line. Look at Spider-Man, little weak sissy. Batman, weak sissy. Even the villains. The Joker. They turned the Joker into a nerd. The Joker, go back and look at the character from the way it was originally put out in the comic books. The Joker has changed. And he went from being like a man. The Joker was a gangster who had from vat of acid, his face changed or whatever. And then they just turned him into a nerd, an emasculated loser, a wimp. This little bitch who gets picked on. And he ends up like what? Like one of these little Columbine losers where he's picked on to the point where he's like, I'll show you. What the fuck is that about? Who the fuck wrote that kind of backstory? Why have so many superheroes been changed from straight to gay? Silver Surfer is gay. They make, what did they make? Was it Superman or Batman? They made one of them, I think it was Superman. They made him bisexual. I mean, it just goes down the line. Why? To be more inclusive? Because gays felt left out of the superhero club? They can only root for a superhero that they know is giving it to another guy. Well, I won't root for that superhero because I don't think he fucks another guy in his ass. Right? Whoever thought about that? I never thought about the sexuality of superheroes before when I was a kid. Well, I like Batman, but I noticed he doesn't have a girlfriend. What's up with you, dude? It never crossed my mind. The Silver Surfer was always cool. Never once wondered if he was gay or straight. Why would it matter? But there's this whole push for inclusivity. Everybody has to be included. This is the nerd world that we live in. When nerds take over the world, this is what they do. You notice how we've gotten rid of bullying. Nobody likes a bully. Bullies are necessary. Bullies kept people in line. Bullies showed you when you were fucking up, breaking the social rules. The bully would step in and tease you right back into place. That's a good thing. Save the bullies. I need to make up a campaign, a bumper sticker campaign or something. Save the bullies. They're necessary. They're needed. They're like sharks in the ocean. You don't like sharks. You're scared of them. You think they're too aggressive. They just eat people. They got those big teeth. They're so mean. You don't want to see what happens to the ecosphere in the ocean without sharks. We need sharks. Sharks are great. So we need bullies. We need those bullies circling the reef, waiting for people to fuck up, keep you on your toes. I think that's really where it is that this inclusivity is really about making life easier, and that there's a certain brand of weakness out there that doesn't want to rise to meet the struggles of life. They just want to alter life to make it easier. So what do you pray for if you had a magic genie? Would you pray that the planet changes, that society changes, that it transforms in some magic Harry Potter kind of way to where it becomes easier to survive, easier to find food, easier to get shelter, easier to make friends? Everything becomes easier. We're all included. We can all hold hands in a big rainbow circle and everyone feels equal. Is that what you would wish for? A lot of people would. They wish for that every single day. They're working actively to try to create that. But not me. Bruce Lee said, you don't pray for an easy life, you pray to be strong enough to handle a hard one. So if I had a magic genie, I wouldn't pray to change you, to change the world, to change society. All I would beg for, ask for, pray for, which I do every day, is to be strong enough to meet this struggle. I'm going to be strong enough to meet survival. Whatever that hands me, whatever obstacles are in my way, I'll be strong enough to do it. We've lost that. Why has masculinity been so attacked, particularly in the media and in Hollywood? It seems like everywhere you look. I watch Netflix, but I also watch regular cable TV. What I find interesting is the commercials. I studied advertising and marketing. It's a topic that I liked, and I took many classes in it in college. I didn't get a degree in it. I thought about it, but I became really fascinated with marketing. And when you study marketing, you get into a realm of learning about propaganda. Not just government propaganda, but propaganda in general. What the word means. How you sell ideas to people that aren't interested in them, that aren't even thinking about them, may not be smart enough to even understand them. How do you manipulate people in that way? And if you watch TV, man, watch these commercials. You see a brand of femininity amongst men, emasculation amongst men. This nerd culture has taken over. The dominant alpha male is no longer there. The in shape guy with his chest puffed out, nostrils flared, confidence, leadership qualities in every way. That image is being erased from movies, cartoons, TV, commercials. It's been going on for a long time. Part of it is a image of how elitists see the masses. You see, a lot of people that go into Hollywood are from an upper crust. They're not trying to become doctors. They're not trying to become engineers or architects. They're not trying to become construction workers. They're not trying to go into that. They want to be in Hollywood. They want to be in the entertainment industry. And it's usually, not always, it's usually, I lived there and I know, it's usually the children of the wealthy that make that choice and that are afforded that choice. Go and waste 4 years of UCLA to go to acting school. You could become a doctor, but instead, I want to be an actor, I want to be a philosopher. I know a guy who went to one of the most elite private schools, Bard University in upstate New York. He went there with the Beastie Boys years ago. The Beastie Boys were all rich. And he got a degree in philosophy. He got out, couldn't find a job as a philosopher, ended up changing tires at a place. I'm not trying to dog educated people, but I have never been very fascinated or interested in elitism or the elitist mentality. And that is part of what's going on. So we end up with characters like, in cartoons like Family Guy, which is just an extension of Fred Flintstone, which is just an extension of The Honeymooners, which is really just this idea of a fat, stupid, emasculated, weak, overgrown child of a man. This is Homer Simpson. This is Al Bundy. A useless idiot who's only good for his 9 to 5. He can put in his 8 hours at his remedial, stupid job that anyone can do. He hates his life. That's how they see you. That's how they see you. A working class person didn't create the Family Guy cartoon. A working class person didn't create The Simpsons. A working class person isn't writing the commercial that you see. with the brand of feminine male. You notice how women have taken over the role of masculinity in Hollywood? And the guy was pointing out to me the other day, we were talking about this very issue. We were at the gym, and he was like, you know, what bothers me is this Wonder Woman bitch. And I was like, Wonder Woman? You know, what's wrong with Wonder Woman? And he's like, well, I don't have anything wrong with the character. The previous Wonder Woman's pulled it off better, I guess, but this new Wonder Woman, she's this skinny little, she looks like a little Instagram model. This little waif. She's like not even muscular. She's like skinny fat. She don't have muscles. She's not ripped. She's not like Ronda Rousey. That would have been a believable Wonder Woman. Gina Carano. That would have been a more believable Wonder Woman. Gina had some muscles. I can tell you, I know, I've seen Gina's muscles. She'd wrap her legs around you and squeeze you and almost squeeze you in half. That would have been a more understandable Wonder Woman. And the guy was telling me, he's like, you know, the problem with it is you get this little skinny, 105-pound, weak-looking chick beating up men. The fuck is up with that? And she's a superhero. I mean, come on. How's she supposed to be an Amazon, right? And that was Wonder Woman was supposed to be an Amazon. The Amazon race of women were all supposed to be kind of burly chicks. This is this new brand of kind of social reversal that's being fed to us by elitists who write stories in Hollywood. You tell me why. Why? Why are they doing this? Why is everywhere we look in entertainment, masculinity is being erased? Look at rappers. I'm not a big rap music fan. I used to be in the early 90s. I was hanging out with a lot of gangbangers, and they listened to a lot of rap music. I've always been kind of a metalhead and a punk rocker, but I found myself listening to, you know, Cypress Hill and who's that other band? Psycho Realm. A lot of Mexican rap music because I hung out with the Sureños. But you look at guys now. I mean, just look at, say, for example, Tupac and Biggie. They were guys. I don't care what you think about them. I can go on and I can tell you stories about Tupac. You want to know about Tupac being a gangster? I can tell you all about that shit. But now, you have this brand of like Lil Wayne, sissy, skinny jeans wearing, feminine, little girly man, little bitch. Type of motherfucker that if you saw him in the joint, he'd be doing your laundry. Who's the most famous one now? Lil Nas X. He's got a stolen name. You never did that before. You didn't steal. You weren't riding off of anybody else. You weren't allowed to. That was a part of hip hop. You weren't allowed to, what we call bite. You weren't allowed to bite somebody else's style. You had to create your own shit. Now it's all about just copying. That's what these kids do. They copy. And they're copying a weird brand of femininity. And each one that's come out is more feminine and bitch made than the next. I don't even get it. This is happening in the media mostly. And then people idolize it, aspire to be it, copy it. I'll end the video here. The question is why? Why is the media doing this? Why? Thanks for watching.